Hello everybody, Ken Faulkner, knife video time. I did a little collection video of fit pocket knives a while back, and boy, that video was doing so good when I looked at it today, and I found out that a great YouTuber, knife YouTuber, Rochambeau, if you haven't seen his videos, he does really good quality videos, and he was doing a live, and I got rated on that video, the fifth pocket knife video. So that was really cool. I mean, everybody came on, had good things to say, and I got some extra subs out of it. Boy, that was really nice of him. He's got a great channel. I'd highly recommend it. So as a counter video, or the opposite view of a video of that small knife one, I got my big ones out today. This is my largest knives in my collection, and I am a big fan of larger knives. And so some of these are, you know, the little knives, you saw some of them were kind of budgety, kind of not as nice. I feel like these have a little more higher quality. I'm more willing to spend money on a big knife than a little knife. So I'm going to try to get through it without making it last too long, and start off with a company that is known for its big knives, and that is Cold Steel. And this is not their biggest knife that they ever made, but it's definitely a decent sized knife. This is the Formax Scout, and some of these are going to be hard to open up under the camera, but yeah, it's a good quality knife. I've already done a video on this one when I picked it up from Arizona, a trip I was out there, and it's a great big giant knife. Does anything that you need a big knife to do. You know, Cold Steel is known for their big knives, and they really do it well. Formax Scout, I'll put that here, see if we can make all these guys fit. And sticking with the Cold Steel, I have a Demco Design, Andrew Demco 8010. Both this and the Formax have the triad lock, and this one is definitely smaller than the Formax, but it is a decent sized knife, definitely heavy in the pocket. That's one thing about these knives, is that when you're carrying these, you know it's in your pocket, and I like that. That kind of is. I like to know that I have a knife in my pocket. A lot of people would like one that just kind of disappears there. I'm a bit of the opposite of that. Now, this 8010 has the... This one is in S35, I believe. Can't quite see it there. I think this is a little higher quality blade steel. Anyway, great knife. When you hold it in your hand, you know you got a knife in your hand. It's solid. It's not going to slip out if you're doing some heavy work. Great knife. Another company known for big knives, OffGrid. OffGrid knives. I got two here from them. First one is the Stinger XL. And when I see an XL in the name of a knife, it always kind of piques my interest. Plus, I like a dagger shape. Now, this is not a full-on double-edged dagger. It's not sharp on this end, although it's thin. So if you're doing a stabbing like you would with a dagger, it's definitely going to penetrate well. But it's a great dagger shape knife, big knife, good handle, good quality from OffGrid. They're also another company that's really good with the big knives. Another one from them, this is the Cayman XL. Again, XL, that made me interested in it. Plus, it's got this cool Bowie shape on the blade. It's a little bit lower tip than you normally see in a Bowie shape, but I'm a fan. You know, I like older knives, older designs. When I was growing up, I was big on collecting different kinds of knives, mostly fixed blades back then. And if you see on the thumbnail, there's kind of a big sword, actually, that's on there. That's something I collected when I was a kid. So that kind of probably is the reason why I like big knives, is because I was big into like swords and things of that nature as a kid, and I guess I'm just still a big kid. All right, next one. This is not an XL, but it's a jumbo. So same thing. It's the Yo Jumbo. The Yo Jumbo from Spyderco. Michael Janich design. And it's got that same design language as the Yojimbo with a slightly larger blade. So that's the one I went with when I got one of these. Michael Janich, I'm a fan of his. He has knife fighting systems called Martial Blade Concepts, and I've actually trained a little bit in that. It's a tiny little bit, but that really got me interested in carrying a pocket knife for self-defense. But then, of course, later on I realized there's a lot more you can do with this knife. I mean, I've never used the knife at self-defense, but I've used this knife for many little tasks, little cutting tasks, and it's just so nice to have a knife in your pocket. And if I had my choice, it's going to be a big one. This one's not quite as big as some of the other ones. This is a Kaiser. It's actually called the Mini Paragon. And it's funny that it would be called Mini because it's fairly large. Not as big as most of these. Maybe about the same size as the 8010. The rest of them are kind of bigger than this one. But it's got that wide blade. And it's kind of got a cool machining on the blade. Got this texture on the handle. Micarta handles, great feel in the hand. Not the biggest handle in the world, but it works. It definitely works for holding this blade, and it's a fun one. I like to have fun with my knives. I think everybody should. And so Mini Paragon. You may have seen this on Apex Alchemy. He borrowed this one from me, and he's become a big fan of this knife. And he's looking forward to the XL version coming out, and I might have to pick up one of those as well. It's going to be on White Mountain Knives. I'm not sure when it's coming up, maybe next month. Billy will be the first one in line to pick that one up, so we'll see when he brings that up on a video. Another big one, Sheepdog XL again. This is carbon fiber. Nice handle. It's got the grooves in it that you see in the Sheepdogs, and it kind of helps. The carbon fiber actually has some texture to it, so you can hold on to it even without those grooves, but it does help. But when you swing this guy out, and you hear that sound, you know some big monster knife just opened up. That's a big old huge piece of steel, wider than any of these other ones. You see as you go down the list here, even wider than the Mini Paragon. That blade is ready to do some shopping for sure. So I like this one. You know, it's surprising how well it carries in the pocket because it's not super thick. So if you look at it compared to like the 8010, yeah, it's not that much thinner. But for some reason, I don't know, it just seems to fit in the pocket pretty well. It is a really fun knife. Once again, having fun with my knives. That's what I like to do. Next one. This was one that I picked up also in Arizona. And if any of you recognize this, I've never seen it before when I saw it over at Blade Runner, my favorite Tucson knife shop. When I was there, the guy that was showing me knives at the shop pulled this out of his pocket and opened it up, and he said, yeah, this is a great knife. This is the Mauser Reactor. And there's a couple of videos out there. I was just looking up on YouTube. You know how almost any knife that you want to see on YouTube, you can see it. But this one didn't have quite as many as most of the other ones have. D2 steel, but it's got a titanium side with the micro milling, which is really cool. The clip's a little bit weak on this one. Kind of has a little kingy kind of sound to it, but I don't mind that so much. I'm not super picky about my pocket clips. I like that little symbol there. You see that? Very cool. Little skull, little wings, knife through the skull. Very cool, very fun. So that is the Mauser Reactor. And this one might be my funnest one. The last one here. Whoa. I remember when I picked this up. It was the first blade show I went to. And this is the, what's the name of that company? It's the Proponent. And hang on a second. I'll look this guy up. It's by, sorry guys. Definitely extending out the length of the video now. Artisan Cutlery. Artisan Cutlery. So I was out over at their booth, and I saw this is at the bottom of the display case, and the guy brought it out for me to take a look. He said, just don't drop it because I got a glass case here, and it's going to break that glass case. Brass handles, super heavy. Super heavy. It's probably, I'd say, at least as heavy as the Formax. I don't know that there's any other ones here that are as heavy as this one. And it's that brass handle scales that make the difference. I love all the little machining that's done here. It reminds me of something off of Sawtooth Dave's channel. He has these knives, he calls them bruisers. And this is not as big as most of the knives that he has. But it does have that kind of detail that he has a lot of the knives that he likes. It's got that great fuller. Didn't really give a lot of weight relief with that, but it looks cool. It's got that Warrenclyffe kind of blade shape, similar to your Yo Jumbo. So they're similar in that kind of way. And it's just a fun knife. Pop of color on the pivot collar. And yep, there you go. That's my collection of large knives. And what do you think? Is a knife this big just too big to be carrying in your pocket? I don't judge. I know a lot of people like very small knives. Nothing wrong with that. This is just the kind of knife that I like. So that's the way it is. I'll just have to live with it. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for all the subs I've gotten recently. I'm gotten over 200 subs and got to start thinking about a giveaway. So keep an eye out for that. Got Blade Show coming up in a couple weeks. I'm definitely going there. So I'll have maybe some footage and certainly some stories. So everybody take care, and I will talk to you on the next one.